What's up guys, Duarte here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and today we are going to take a look at the second node of Dark Dimension 3, and I think at this point I have just to make a series of one-shotting every single node, because so far it has been going great. So let's take a look at the team I'm using. So I'm using Minerva, Hela, Ebony Maw, Scientist Supreme, and Ultron. And so we have a lot of crowd control with Scientist Supreme. We have the ability of spreading debuffs with Hela. We have Greg, of course. We have Ultron. But this node is not easy feat. And what you want to get from the start is Hela to die early. So then you can have two Gregs. You can try to go for the third Greg, but it's really hard. And so I would not do it. And as soon as you have the two Gregs going, you just keep going with your Ultron and Scientist Supreme. Now you need to be very careful when you use the ultimate from Scientist Supreme. It helps a lot, but make sure you have speed up on her and you don't have slow on her, so you can flip those buffs around. And yeah, this node is tough. Like, you have Miss Marvel, you have Captain Marvel, and you have Star-Lord, and you have Ant-Man. You can say that Ant-Man is trash as a character for you to use, but him as an enemy, that ability block for 2 turns and the slow that he gives to everyone is just massive. So this node is not easy at all. And then we have these two annoying tanks. We have Captain America and Luke Cage that don't make it easy. Now, I tried this with Mr. Sinister, Mystique, Magneto, and some other characters, and I almost one-shotted it, but it was not as easy as with this team. Some people are using Thanos, but I just found that this was the better team. I really like the crowd control that Scientist Supreme provides, and then the fact that we can spread it with Hela, it's always a good combination. And yeah, but this is tough. Like, here I was expecting her to die, and now we can revive her again. So unfortunately we were not able to keep the 2 Gregs, but we were not able to keep 3 Gregs, but 2 is still good. Bring those bots. And yeah, it's very important that you apply Disrupt to one target and then you are able to spread it to other targets. It makes a huge difference, especially when you have multiple tanks. And not only that, but also when you have Wasp, that they have Disrupt so that they don't get that extra dodge chance. Because if they dodge, they get counter or they can stun you or something like that. So that's something you want to avoid at all costs. Then Minerva here, always almost dying. Now, one good thing about Minerva and Hela and having multiple Gregs is that every time a Greg dies, you'll get extra speed on Minerva, not speed, third meter. And that's just amazing. Like, it's so good. In now situations like this where you have immunity on your characters, that's when you want to use Scientist Supreme to a full extent, because you'll not be affected by the negative effects. But yeah, Hela together with Minerva is just crazy. If you can get those 2 Gregs or more, then you just have turns back to back with Minerva, and you don't even need any character like Thanos or Star-Lord giving her energy, because the Gregs dying alone, it will be enough for you to get more turns than Ebony Maw is able to get. So it's just great. So let's see if I'm smart and I actually do the ultimate. No, I didn't. But I could have done, because we still have many of those immunities. We have the field full, and it's just like, many people are frustrated about Dark Dimension 3, and I can understand why. But at this point in time, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be very sad after I beat it the second time, because after there is no point in beating it, and it's actually quite fun to beat it. And now it's when the easier part comes, when you have the Thing on the field, because every time you attack the Thing, he attacks you back. And that's what you want to do with all your Gregs. The ones that have no energy to explode, you want to use them against the thing and make the thing kill them. So you get more turn rewind on Minerva, and you get turn rewind on them. It's just such a great combo. And when you have the thing, Colossus, and the other characters that do counters like Psylocke sometimes, it's just great. Look at that. He one-shots the minions, and then it's just amazing. It was very, very easy. So the targets I always want to focus on is Captain Marvel, obviously. But if I have the chance, I'm gonna try to kill Groot first, because when Groot dispels everyone, that's terrible for you. You lose all the advantage you have, and also because he applies death proof to everyone and defense up, and that's also a problem for you, and you don't want that weapon. So whenever you see the Groot, make sure you get rid of him, but make sure as well that Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel have Disrupt and Slow respectively, so they are not in your way with your strategy, and they will not like kill you or anything. And yeah, now I did the Ultron thing just to get the defense up. Sometimes it's necessary. There was a time I did not do a taunt with Thanos, and I was almost done with a node, and then I lost Minerva because I didn't do that Thanos, because I was greedy. Oh, don't be greedy. Save yourself. So yeah, so Groot, he already did the cleanse. So now we want to kill him before he applies the defense up and death proof. We keep using the thing to kill our Gregs. It's just hilarious. Like, they had to make this on purpose to make it easier for us. It has to be, like, it's the only reason, I don't know. So we have immunity once again, so we are on a good situation to use Scientist Supreme ultimate, even that they have slow, but applying offense down also helps. And one thing I have seen with Minerva, and of course Groot has to revive 100 times. I saw he has counter, so I'm gonna try to use a Greg on him. One thing about Minerva, and that I've experienced it, is that you don't need to use her ultimate all the time. You should save it. Since you are using Ebony Maw and Minerva at the same time, use Ebony Maw ultimate whenever you feel like it, because it applies slow, but Minerva's just save it for when you really need to heal up. And yeah, it takes you a little bit longer, but sometimes taking longer is better because you have more time to organize yourself. Like here, new Captain Marvel spawn, so I just use the Gregs to turn rewind the thing and give me enough time so I can apply slow to her, turn rewind on her, to make sure she doesn't do anything funny. And that's what you want. Like, whenever they spawn, just make sure you slow them as fast as possible, so they are not in your face from the start. Sometimes you can even control them enough that they don't do anything. So there I was unlucky. I got the offense down and defense down with the Scientist Supreme instead of the slow. But now I spread all that ability block goodness to everyone. It was just amazing. If you are able to apply ability block, offense down, slow, and disrupt to everyone, you just have such an easier time. It's amazing. But it got to the point that if you have defense up on your Gregs and the thing has offense down, he will not be able to kill them, which is a bummer. But at this point in time, we had such an amazing control that it was just fine. Remember that you need to apply heal blocks sometimes to certain characters, but don't apply it to characters that have no point. Otherwise, you will not be able to use those characters to spread debuffs. For example, that Luke Cage that we have in the corner, he has ability block, bleed, offense down, and slow for 2 turns. So we should turn rewind him as much as possible and use him as our debuff spreader. so we can spread all the debuffs when you have new characters on the field. Unfortunately, I wished he had a disrupt or defense down instead of the bleed, but beggars can be choosers, right? Right. So yeah, this in my opinion is a it can be hard node. Like all these Miss Marvels and Captain Marvels are so annoying, and now we have Black Widow. Now the good thing about Black Widow is that she's a hero controller, so she'll take more damage from Ebony Maw, and we'll also be able to ability block her. But still, if she has the chance of giving speed up to everyone, that's going to be a huge problem, and we really don't want that. And that's why I did the ultimate with Scientist Supreme, so we have the chance of slowing her down and make sure that she doesn't have a turn and apply speed up to everyone. And like I said before, you want to make sure that whenever you do the ultimate with Scientist Supreme, if you don't have immunity, at least make sure that you have speed up on her from the Ultron bots, so she will have her turn way faster and flip those buffs on us way faster as well. So unfortunately, Black Widow, she did her speed up, and just to rush it, I did the ultimate with Minerva. We have way too many characters on the field and we need to get rid of them. Now, if you think about bringing Mr. Sinister here, is not a bad option. The character you want to clone, it's going to be Star-Lord. The blind helps a lot, the extra energy helps a lot. Of course, you cannot choose which is the positioning he will land on, but even so, he is a good option. I'm not sure if you are going to be able to one-shot the nodes with Mr. Sinister, but maybe. I just found that this team was very good. Other people use the Thanos instead of Scientist Supreme, but I really prefer the slows and the offense downs over the extra energy, because when you are using Ella, it's really hard to control to where the energy goes. If it goes to Greg, it's usually a waste, and we don't want that. So now we have Jessica Jones and Groot, so we need to get rid of both of them because they are both very problematic to our strategy, which is to have crowd control as much as possible. Now, while the ability block affects Black Widow on the first turn, it doesn't really affect Jessica Jones because her ability to dispel is only on the second turn. So we need to spread all those ability blocks if we can. Otherwise, we need to get rid of Groot, Jessica Jones, and Black Widow. But Groot is usually the most problematic one, and once again we are using the Gregs to turn rewind them as much as possible with that thing. That thing is not very smart. And yeah, Groot is still a pain in the ass, even that is only Groot. Those bleeds are not stacking. What's up? What the hell is going on with the Groot? Okay, so we are able to get rid of the Black Widow. That makes things a lot easier. We have one turn of tolerance with Jessica Jones because of the ability block, but with Groot we have no chance of doing that. We need to get rid of him as fast as possible. And if you have space, make sure you always summon the bots from Ultron, because the first bot that spawns is the one that gives turn rewind, and that's like the most helpful thing on Dark Dimension 3, being able to turn rewind your enemies. So you were finally able to get rid of Groot. Now it's Jessica Jones' time, and Groot didn't revive like the other one. So yeah, once again I summoned the bots. We really want that one that does the turn rewind. And yeah, so 11 enemies left, not many. Now Luke Cage is also an interesting character because we can steal the buffs from him. The Death Proof and the Defense Up are very helpful for Ultron. Now Disrupt on everyone. Look at that. Amazing. That's just a beautiful sight to see. And now we have two things, so we can go... we can do something that I'm not going to say, and then it's very easy for us. At this point in time, we are done here. Like, even with Captain Marvel, it's the last one, so that's not a huge deal. We have two Wasps. That can be a problem, because if you try to give them debuffs, many times they dodge and the debuffs don't stick up. So make sure you are able to give defense up on yourself with Ebony Maw. And yeah, then we just have to get rid of Captain Marvel, then the Wasp, then the Star-Lord. At the same time, disrupt, turn, rewind the tanks so they are not in your way. And use those beautiful things to kill the Gregs, which is hilarious. And yeah, we are under control. Only 8 enemies left. Easy mode, second node from Dark Dimension 3 one-shotted. And the spoiler alert, I already one-shot the third node. And that third node, it's hard. It took me a very, very long time to do it. It was like 40 minutes or something. And yeah, I'll probably upload that video tomorrow or the next day. Oof. So, some of those nodes are tough, but if we are at this point that I already started one-shotting these, so I guess I will try to one-shot all of them. But from what I have seen, there are a few global nodes that you cannot one-shot. I will still try. I'll try to do my best, but if other people have not been able to do it, and if they are massive whales and so on, then like I will try my best, but sometimes you just can't do it. Or you might not have the characters. Like, for sure, if you are bringing Yo-Yo, Shuri, and Phoenix, Scientist Supreme, Ultron, and Mr. Sinister. Maybe not even Phoenix. Maybe keep Phoenix on the bench and go full strategy instead. But it's still going to be tough because, yeah, sometimes it's just hard. If you are facing like Nick Fury or something like that, way too many minions, way too much burst damage, and if you don't have the constant offense down, defense up to provide to your team, yeah, it's going to be rough. Possible, but rough. We'll see about that when that time comes. Today I'm going to record the 4th node, and I will upload probably next week. And I want to go back and I want to also show you my first try. I recorded all nodes from my first Dark Dimension 3 run, and then you can compare the first run with the second run and the things I learned. A few people have criticized me on one of my videos recently because I said Venom was a better option than Carnage for Dark Dimension 3 city nodes, but that's just based on my experience, and using Venom was night and day in terms of gameplay, and with Carnage it was not. That defense up, it's huge, and you'll snowball way faster if you have that defense up rather than have extra speed every now and then, which is not very often, unless you are facing Loki, which is only on the last node, or Mysterio, that you have to kill him first before he spawns his minions. But yeah, but that's my experience, and I want to share it with you so you can see what you can take as a tip and improve your gameplay so you have an easier time with Dark Dimension 3. And if you want to know what I got on that Mega Orb, it was 50 Venom shards straight to Ultimus Orbs, so nothing special. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. You smash that like button, like Dark Dimension 3 kicking your ass on your first run, but not kicking that much on the second run. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are new to my channel, I really appreciate if you guys subscribe. most of my viewers, 60 to 70% of them are not subscribed, and it makes a huge difference when you subscribe and comment and so on. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.